Ideally, the stages of digestion work like this. Food is chewed in your mouth where enzymes from saliva break down the carbohydrates and the food is masticated into very small pieces. You swallow and stomach acid and other enzymes begin to break down proteins into amino acids and kill the vast majority of germs. Bacteria, fungus, parasites, viral forms. Acidic food sludge then passes through the stomach into the duodenum, where bile is secreted through the biliary pathway from the liver and gallbladder. Bile is literally an alkaline soap that emulsifies. It breaks down fats and neutralizes the acidic food sludge. Pancreatic enzymes then penetrate the emulsified fats and break them down into bioavailable lipids. Since bile is strongly alkaline and the food coming from your stomach has ideally been made strongly acidic, when the two meet, there's a powerful chemical reaction, a literal sizzle. This is the electrical energy your body runs on. Without this chemical reaction, you don't receive much energy from your food, which explains why, if your digestion is off, you may feel tired most of the time. As the food then passes through the intestinal tract, bile, enzymes, digestive flora, and the cells of the intestinal wall continue to work on the food matter, extracting minerals and absorbing further nutrition from the food till it has been ideally fully utilized. Through the smooth muscle contraction called peristalsis, this food matter is then passed through the intestinal tract into the colon and then excreted through the rectum. Through your whole digestive system, there's areas where things can go south. In the mouth, the food is chewed, where enzymes from the saliva begin to break down carbohydrates and the food is masticated into very small pieces. So it's very, very important that you chew your food thoroughly. Another area where things can go south is oral bacterial infection. Our mouth can really be a breeding ground for bad bacteria if we have dental issues, because there really isn't much in our mouth that can kill the bacteria. In general, tooth decay, gum disease, and pain will be blazingly clear signs of oral infection. You have to be concerned about, do you have infections in your mouth? Do you have gum disease? Do you have a root canal that's bad? Because this can really seriously damage your health. Each individual tooth is from traditional Chinese medicine, affects a certain organs in your body or glands. You can look up and see the teeth meridians and see which organs or glands that's affected if you have a bad root canal or a bad tooth. Because if you don't get that straightened out, it could really affect your recovery. Next, you swallow, and the stomach acid and other enzymes begin to break down proteins into amino acids and kills the vast majority of germs. Potential breakdowns occur from insufficient hydrochloric acid production. You may detect this imbalance if you observe that you often feel bloated soon after eating, if you burp often, and if you experience acid reflux. If bacteria are alive in your stomach, that means the pH of your stomach is not acidic enough. Below a pH of 4.5, most bacteria stop replicating. The real trouble with this is that you don't really break down amino acids and truly assimilate the food you are eating until your stomach acid is below 3. If you can't break down amino acids and pull the minerals out of your food, you will have a low mineral density, often low blood pressure, and this can affect your energy and even cause depression and other symptoms. At the bottom of your esophagus, there is a little valve called ELS, lower esophageal sphincter. This valve opens to let food enter the stomach, and then it closes so that the food doesn't go back up your esophagus and burn us. The problem is that the body that doesn't have all the mineral that it requires can't produce enough hydrochloric acid in the stomach to trigger the valve. We're not having reflux because of too much acid. We're having reflux because of not enough acid. Infections such as H. pylori in the stomach can also rob your body of the hydrogen it needs to make hydrochloric acid, and also cause stomach ulcers. Next, the acidic food sludge passes through the stomach into the duodenum, where bile is secreted through the biliary pathways from the liver and the gallbladder. Bile is literally an alkaline soap that emulsifies, breaks down fats, and neutralizes the acidic food sludge. Pancreatic enzymes then penetrate the emulsified fats and break them down into bioavailable lipids. The potential breakdowns are insufficient bile production. This problem can begin due to poor nutrition. Example, foods with low mineral content, especially those deficient in calcium. Poor bile consistency and gallbladder removed. is another issue. For the bile to work effectively, it must be produced in adequate amounts, requiring sufficient bioavailable mineral content in the diet. Unfortunately, many people have had their gallbladders removed. Doctors are taught that the gallbladder really doesn't do anything anyway, so if there are stones or blockages, why not just take it out? Problem is that your gallbladder is where your body stores the bile, and without proper amount of bile, you can't digest your food completely. The gallbladder also concentrates the bile and makes it stronger, so that when its alkalinity reaches the acid product from your stomach, we can see the good sizzle in our digestion. If you can't digest your food completely, you can't pull the mineral and the needed nutrients out of your food, and they just pass through your system without being utilized. You can only digest correctly if you have enough acid in your stomach, enough bile from the gallbladder, and bicarb and enzymes from the pancreas dropping into your duodenum. This is totally the key to everything. If your bile flow is impaired or your bile production is compromised, then your pancreas will not get the clue to do its job dropping in enzymes. If the stomach acid and bile have done their job, then the rest of the digestion usually goes well. If there was too little stomach acid but plenty of bile, then the movement through the intestinal tract may be slow and you'll have constipation, as alkaline bile slows bowel movement. Vice versa, if there was sufficient stomach acid but insufficient bile flow, then the acidic food sludge could cause disruption, damage, and discomfort as it quickly makes its way through the intestinal tract. Bottom line is, if you're having digestive issues often, you have to get down to the bottom of it. Then you'd have to go to your healthcare provider, and they can issue a comprehensive digestive stool analysis, which can tell you a tremendous amount of information. I realize how scared you are if you've been recently diagnosed with cancer. The good news is that using natural protocols, you can get yourself into remission. Over 2.5 years ago that I was diagnosed and told that I wouldn't live a year without doing the cut, burn, or poison approach. And I chose natural protocol. And I have no doubt in my mind that I took the best approach for me. Absolutely no doubt whatsoever. What I ended up doing was, when I discovered that I had cancer and Jody and me were dealing with the whole situation, there was a lot of information. There was a lot of books. There was a lot of YouTubes and stuff. And the big problem was that trying to figure out which therapy should I take, because there's so many of them. I wondered, how many of these therapies are effective? How many of them are just spin, where somebody's trying to make a buck? I tried to figure out what would work, and that was really tricky. So after reading over 100 natural health books on a wide variety of disciplines, from TCM to Ayurveda to Metabolic, Naturopathic, Urology, Reflexology, you name it, I've read it. I discovered that they all had some common denominators when it came to getting the body healthier and defeating, your cancer and getting into remission. One was your digestion. You have to have strong digestion. If you don't have strong digestion, then you don't break down your food. And when the food isn't broken down, you have large particles that go through your intestinal system, and they're breeding grounds for pathogenic type of critters that you don't want inside of you. Bacteria, yeast, protozoa. All that bogs your system down and overruns. It helps to put a burden on your immune system. So you need to have strong digestion. You don't want to feed any bad critters in your body. The next step is you have to assimilate and absorb properly. And to assimilate and absorb properly, you have to have in your small intestine, where your bile, your digestive juices from your stomach hydrochloric acid, betaine, your pancreatic enzymes, all of them come together in that point. And it has to be an alchemy to have it all make the most energy for your body. So you need to have a really good absorption, assimilation in that part of your body, including in your large intestine, which assimilates a lot of stuff. The next thing is you have to have good detoxification. Your main organ of detoxification is your liver. And as you saw from the TCM model, everyone with cancer has a liver that's sluggish. So that's an organ you have to really focus on, get it working properly. And that takes time. You have also your large intestine. You have to make sure you don't have a toxic bowel, and that you have enough fiber, you have the right kind of fiber, that you're going to the bathroom at the regular times, and you keep making sure that waste that's down there is getting out of your body instead of filtering back up through the portal vein back to your liver, putting a burden on. You have your skin that helps you with your detoxification. You have your kidneys. You have all these different organs or glands that have to be working properly to make sure you detoxify properly. If you are detoxifying properly, your immunity is going to be much stronger. So all these things that really a doctor can't do for you, you can only do for yourself. So this series puts together how you can do all this stuff, how you can make yourself extremely healthy. And lastly, it's your immune function, which is absolutely critical. The immune function can't have too much, bad critters in your body overrunning it. It has to be able to focus just on your cancer to eliminate it. In short, you have to have good digestion, good assimilation and absorption. You have to have good detoxification and good immunity. All of the books, over 100 books, I read them all of them break down to those 4 main factors. If you get those main factors on your side working for you, then you can easily defeat cancer. Bill Henderson, in his Cancer-Free book, Bill had interviewed 6,000 people. His wife died of a slow, painful death from chemo. And he was the owner, and he had originated a very large, successful corporation. So he put another one of his men in charge, and he devoted the rest of his life to helping people. So he would take phone calls from anybody in the world collect or whatever, and you just tell them what natural protocol you used and that you got better. And he wanted to see which protocols people were using, and he really didn't go to the doctors. He just went to people where it worked. After interviewing 6,000 people, this is very, very important point. After 6,000 people, this is an exhaustive search that he did. He wasn't doing it for the money, he was doing it just to help people. He found that most cancers are easier to treat than type 2 diabetes. I know everybody's going to be absolutely floored hearing that, but I feel it's the truth. I got myself into remission. I just had to work my program and stay disciplined and stuff and do what I had to do, and I got myself in remission. I'm overworked. I'm still completely overworked. I'm trying to make a go of HA Funland and doing another business, or general contracting, and making this docuseries. So I definitely need to rest more, but I needed to get this series out there, I felt, to help you out there. Frankly, I've been doing this for over 2.5 years, this docuseries, and it's exhausting. And I'm coming around, I can see the finish line. And I'm very, very happy because it's been a lot of work to come up with a 10-part series. I'm not out to make any money. I have this open source, free to everybody. I will not take a penny for anything. I do this for spiritual reasons. So I know you're going to get better. I know you can learn from this series, and you can learn from other people as well. But stay positive. Get a program together. This will show you how to specifically get a program that's best for you. And get yourself into remission, and just know, absolutely know, that you are going to get better. Godspeed to all of you. I have love in my heart for you, and so does Jody. Good luck. Peace, love, and unity to everyone. Goodbye.